What? Bang!
Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep through rep.
Yeah.
Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it?
I'm too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am the Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for... It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling game? Stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available exclusively through Facebook. Create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now to all Facebook users, totally free. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shout-outs like my good buddy John in Texas. John, working tonight, couldn't watch Summer Slam live, but you know what? Still giving you that shout-out, John. Hope you get to see the show real soon. Don't forget, we have loyalty rewards for our Patreon members like John. Pop over to patreon.com/ProWrestlingPodcast. Sign up today. $15 a month contributor, you can host a show live with me. $7.50 a month, you get put into a drawing to also host a show with myself. And just like my good buddy John, who's been a long-time supporter, he and I are putting together some Patreon-exclusive content coming soon to our Patreon members only. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this post-Summer Slam Night 1 episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, something you want me to touch on in a future episode, drop us a line at the Pro Wrestling Sound-Off line, 267-642-1160. We will get to those questions, comments, and concerns in a future episode. Tonight, it is all about SummerSlam Night 1. Instant reactions to the show. I'm not going to take the time to go through all the pleasantries. Let's jump right into the card. The show started with a shocker opening the show. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. The match itself, little lackluster for me, not going to lie. I still thought it was a solid match, but certainly not as great as I thought these guys would put on. And I really was hoping that they would find a way to really showcase Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a way that makes them look like main event talent. I all along I had the feeling that Bronson Reed would be the one to pick up the pinfall loss here, which did happen. I thought Roman would get the pin, and I'm actually thrilled for Jey Uso that they gave him the opportunity, because it almost elevates him in a way that he's able to go in there and take the pin in. Let's think of it this way. The last time Roman Reigns is in the ring, he loses at WrestleMania. He finally makes it back. And when he finally makes it back, he does not pick up the win for his team. Now, look, it's still a win, but he's not the one who got the pin. And I think that speaks volumes about, there was a report earlier in the week, some people on different shows questioning whether or not WWE has lost faith in Jey Uso. I heard that on Busted Open and things of that nature. I think at this point, giving Jey the pinfall victory instead of Roman here tells me they still believe in Jey Uso as a singles superstar, which he is. Look at the reaction he got when he came out tonight, coming through the crowd. Talk about a long walk to the ring. What a beautiful entrance for him. Roman, always epic. I actually thought it was really nice to see the graphic for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I thought that was really nicely done. It's kind of weird to me to see Paul Heyman come out with like a different a different spray paint job on the Money in the Bank briefcase constantly, but whatever. In the end, decent match. We get to match number 2, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss challenging the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. As predicted, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss pick up the win and win the Tag Team Championship. I don't feel like that was a surprise. What I loved here was the moment where Alexa Bliss goes for the punch, misses, and hits Charlotte. Charlotte, she then drags her to the corner, tags herself in. Charlotte's out of the picture for a hot minute, and when it gets to where Alexa Bliss is setting up Roxanne Perez for Sister Abigail, Charlotte slides into the ring. It looked very heelish. It looked like she was going to take out Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss even looked back at her. Great camera shot of Bliss looking, knowing the kick is coming, and then instead she takes out Raquel Rodriguez, and you see a Sister Abigail for the win. What a great ending to the match. Charlotte's still able to do the flips, the backflip, all that stuff after all she's been through with the knee injuries and things like that. This was quality, especially considering it's the Women's Tag Team Championship match. We're not talking about the Women's World Title or anything like that. This is the Women's Tag Team match, and I thought it was fantastic. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, not going to lie, this match... okay, let's go with the good first. The good... I loved the reaction from the crowd when Scarlett handed Sammy the pipe. I thought that was really cool. The tease of Sammy going heel, the tease of him using the pipe. I thought that was wonderful, and I thought he may have actually gone for it, and then Karrion Kross somehow picks up the win, and then he'd have to concede he was giving into the dark side. Now, in a previous episode, I've talked about how I think Sami Zayn has a legitimate chance, if they play it right, to win the World Championship at WrestleMania next year. Now, I don't know if that's still the plan based on other things that happen later on in the show, but if that is the plan, you can't turn him heel and you can't let him succumb to these horrible, inner demons and wanting to shift to the bad side. But I think at some point you have to give him that championship run because it's all they talk about anymore. Now, switching over to Karrion Kross, the match itself, I thought really, there was nothing in it that really impressed me. Nothing. Even from Sammy, like the exploder in the corner at the end of the match and whatnot. I didn't see anything that really wowed me. So if you're Karrion Kross trying to put on a show for WWE right before the end of your contract, unless he's already signed an extension, this was not the performance I was hoping for from a guy who either just re-signed or was trying to get re-signed. If WWE was looking to bury Kross with another loss on the way out the door, they succeeded with that. At the end of the day, they didn't really hype up the admitting that he was wrong about Zayn thing, which was supposed to be a stipulation in this match. I felt like we didn't even get that. And I suspect now maybe there's some truth to the rumors that Kross and Scarlett may not be staying with WWE. I really don't know at this point. It leaves a cloud over Karrion Kross's character. Look, I get it. Sami Zayn, I'm not going to say he's a homegrown guy because he had a long career in Ring of Honor, but for the majority of his popularity, he's been a WWE guy, and maybe this is one of those things where they just want to keep pushing one of their homegrown talents. But when you look at Karrion Kross, I mean, he is so over like Grover with the crowd. I don't understand how you let that walk away, and how you don't book him like just a monster heel. Or right now, he's almost teetering on becoming a babyface. Go with it. He's been trying to turn Sammy heel all this time. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe you take Sammy and have Sammy have a conversation with him that flips him face. Maybe now that Sammy, at the show, he was saying, this is over, this is done. Maybe now is when you take the opportunity to flip Kross face and him align with Sammy, which I would not be opposed to. They'd be great opponents for the Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed as you move forward. They would be great to go together with, say, a Jey Uso and Roman going into a match at Survivor Series. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. The most disappointing match of the night, my opinion, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. I felt like the match was very low-key, very lackluster. And look, I'm going to be clear. If you're WWE and you still have the faith in Jade Cargill you did when you hyped up her arriving at NXT way back when she first signed, you got all those millions of views and all that stuff. That was awesome. And then if you still feel like she's a star of the future, I feel like they would have given her the championship here. I'm wondering if she is just not progressing the way they wanted her to. I'm wondering if they're losing confidence in Jade. Maybe this was an investment they are regretting at this point. I hope not. I hope she's doing very well, and I hope she still has a world championship in her near future. But I don't see it when you give her this prime opportunity and didn't pull the trigger on it. Stratton, on the flip side, to Tiffany Stratton, I love that she picks up the win, even though I predicted otherwise. I'm thrilled for her because I think she's an incredible talent. But she could have done so much more. And if you're not going to push Jade, at least let Tiffany Stratton look better than she did tonight. I was not impressed with the match. It's not a knock on the girls, okay? Because they've got the talent. They've got the ability. This is whoever planned this match. I thought they could have planned so much more. The match went 7 minutes and 5 seconds. That's very short for a program that's coming out of a Queen of the Ring tournament, for a world championship at a 2-night major PLE. It just surprised me. I mean, if you think about the times of all the matches tonight, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso's win was 21 minutes, 10 seconds. Charlotte and Alexa was 13 minutes, 30 seconds. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, that was 8 minutes, 10 seconds. This was 7:05. I mean, the matches were not going very long tonight. They just weren't. And this is a major, major PLE, so you would expect something more out of that. Now, when we get to the Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton Jelly Roll match, ahead of time I thought Jelly Roll Randy Orton was going to win. That did not happen. McIntyre and Logan Paul pick up the win tonight. I'm okay with it, to be perfectly honest with you. And here's why. Normally the celebrity picks up the win, but in this situation, one, the highlights of the match, and there's a lot of them. This match was so much better than I expected, 17 minutes plus. And you got to see Jelly Roll do some things, black hole slams. You got to see him do choke slams. You also got to see him take the shooting star, or whatever you want to call it, the frog splash off the turnbuckle out of the ring from Logan Paul. That was absolutely amazing. And at the end of the match, you see Jelly Roll ends up taking the frog splash in the ring for the pin, and he sold it wonderfully. Now, the big highlights for me, obviously, those two moves. And then the other thing is, almost in a Mick Foley Hell in a Cell kind of way, when Jelly Roll sees that Randy Orton is in trouble and needs his tag team partner, the way he, calls off the medical and goes back to the ring, the reaction he got from the crowd. This is a guy who, I get it, mainstream musical artist, and I'm sure that's going to stay his primary job, but this is a guy, much like Bad Bunny, much like Logan Paul, I wouldn't mind seeing come back sporadically. With him, I wouldn't say every week, but sporadically, and doing something with somebody every now and again. Logan Paul at this point, I'm sorry. You can love or hate the guy, his character, some of the things he did in his youth, and we got to be honest about things. He made some really horrible decisions, and they were a very long time ago when the guy clearly wasn't mature enough to understand the severity of his decisions. But at this point, if you're looking at his professional wrestling career, that guy does not put on a bad match. He has never had a bad match. I'm not saying that because I'm a mark for Logan Paul. I think he's got horrible character just like everybody else does. But that doesn't take away from his ability. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, legends. Both. I love everything they do. I don't think they can do any wrong. I really don't. I have not. For those who have been following the show for many, many years, the year that Drew McIntyre beat Brock for the World Championship, there was nobody who's a bigger fan of Drew's than myself. I love Drew McIntyre. I think he belongs in the World Championship picture at all times. Randy Orton, in my opinion, never gets mentioned enough on the Mount Rushmore. Possibly the best professional wrestler in the history of the business. And that's not just me saying that. It's a lot of other people who say that. And then you get in the Mount Rushmore conversation, his name never seems to be brought up. It's always Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, things like that, The Undertaker. And I understand all of them, but can somebody please tell me, what is the knock on Randy Orton to not be the greatest professional wrestler? Meaning, the promos, the in-ring work, being able to work with anybody from Rey Mysterio to The Big Show and all points in between. Randy has always had it all, and tonight was just another performance where he did everything he could possibly do and came out looking amazing. And then we have to get into the main event of the evening. CM Punk, Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship, the longest match of the night, over 30 minutes, 20 seconds. And when they go at it, it is so physical. And at the end of the match, the part where Punk swipes the legs out from under Gunther and he hits his face on the table, and when he comes up, he is a bloody mess. And I don't know if if he bladed, if they did it the hard way, when he swept his legs, did he fall on top of something? I tried to go back and look at it, I couldn't see it. Gunther genuinely looked concerned, and then after the match, with the white towel and everything sitting there, he may have some serious damage to the nose. I hope not, because I want to see him back in action as soon as possible. I have so much love for the Gunther character. He is, wow, a throwback to like the Fritz von Erich era of professional wrestling. Amazing wrestler, and all the respect in the world to Gunther, because he is, again, much in the way I was talking about Logan Paul, talking about somebody who is a pro wrestler. Gunther does not know how to have a bad match. Gunther is amazing. CM Punk, this is one of his best matches since being back. Congratulations to Punk becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. I feel like it was genuine emotion in his face, realizing that he was allowed to be World Champion. And no matter what happens, you cannot change the record book. CM Punk beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk has now been WWE the World Heavyweight Champion. I apologize once again. Now, of course, moments later, hit the music. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman come to the top of the rampway. Rollins on the crutches. As soon as he came out, here was the issue for me. He was acting too crippled. At this point, it's been far enough after the injury, even if he had knee surgery, let's go down the rabbit hole of if he legitimately is injured, he wouldn't still be walking around like an 80-year-old man holding on to the crutches like he can't stand. That wouldn't happen. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, he really is going to cash in. And then when he does, he talks and it's like, it's a matter of time. You kind of wonder, is he out there just so you don't forget about him and at some point he'll be the one to take the title from Punk? He turns around, he goes to leave. If they would have rolled credits there, I wouldn't have been surprised. But when he stopped, as soon as he stopped, man, that place erupted. He pushed the crutches away, turned around, took off the brace, took off his shirt, went to the ring, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, pummels Punk with the briefcase first, cashes in, hits the stomp, wins the World Heavyweight Championship, celebrates in the ring with the rest of the faction, the Bronze coming back to celebrate with him, sitting cross-legged next to Paul Heyman in front of a fallen Punk. It was a great end to the pay-per-view. My only concern is this. It seems like it's a foregone conclusion whenever Seth wins the briefcase, he's winning a championship, which I get it to a degree, but he's now done it at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. Like, the guy he always wins. And it would be really nice to see the guy not successfully cash in at one point, But congratulations to Seth. Again, if you followed the show for an extended period of time, I'm a incredibly huge Seth Rollins fan also. I think he is probably the workhorse of the wrestling world right now, and I think the guy really deserves so much respect for all he's done the last several years, really in a lot of ways carrying the company by being the most consistent and the most visually upfront, there every week he can be guy. The only time he's not is when he's injured. And when he's injured, he comes back early. I mean, think about it. WrestleMania 41, he comes back early. I apologize, 40. He comes back early. He injures his knee. He comes back early. Still defends his championship against Drew McIntyre. He got injured earlier in the year. He ends up barely crippled walking to the ring to help Cody with the big, Avengers Unite finale to the main event against Roman. I mean, the guy is always giving. And I don't want people to forget that. I know I was watching one of the podcasts this week where somebody's talking about how they feel like he's stale. He's not stale. He's amazing. The difference between he and Roman, and this is what some people were debating, is that Roman is almost never on TV, right? And I'll hearken it back to the sad news last week of Hulk Hogan passing away. Roman Reigns, much like Hulk Hogan, is rarely on television. And when he is, it's a promo. It's not usually getting physical. It's certainly not usually having a match. Hulk Hogan, back in the day, you never saw him wrestle a match on free TV. Saturday Night's Main Event was the only time he would. Otherwise, it was at premium events. Before that, you'd see him. He would work the shows. You'd see him at the Philadelphia Spectrum in my area. He'd go to the Garden and things like that. But those weren't on television. And most shows, he'd have a match, but you wouldn't see it on TV. His television time was usually setting up feuds, talking, and things like that. Roman Reigns, many of the times he's on television, it's talking, it's not actually performing. And when you see him, it's special because you almost never see him. With Seth Rollins, he's so consistent, he's always there. So when he's always there, it's like he's oversaturated and people almost I don't want to say get tired of seeing him, because I never get tired of seeing Seth Rollins, but they don't feel the same mystique around him. In a lot of ways, he's as good or better than anybody else in WWE right now, especially the way he carries the company. he's another one that you could debate where he falls in the pantheon of professional wrestlers in history, and trying to rank those guys is very difficult. But congratulations to Seth Rollins and to CM Punk, both winning world championships tonight, even if one was very short for, I think they said, like 5 minutes or so. But I thought the show was pretty solid, top to bottom. Few things I think could have been better, but all in all, solid night one. And let's be honest, a 2.5, 3 hour show was great because you don't feel fatigued at the end of the show. We get to come back tomorrow night and do it again. This was a great start to the SummerSlam weekend, and I thought WWE really hit it out of the park. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode where we run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, to Suno AI for generating the music and sound effects we use in the show. Today's show is sponsored in part by Beazle Gaming's bringing a new friend to family game night. It's easy with Sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beazle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and pick up your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life educational planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking a few moments with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.